So we're getting on the way, mate?
Yeah, we're ready now.
Okay, good. So stream up, yeah?
Yeah, the stream is ready. I'm going to introduce now. Welcome everyone to FRL. We are today here at round 6 for the Monaco Grand Prix. Probably one of the most difficult races we'll see in all this season. We all know this Monaco track, one of the most hard tracks in all the calendar. But today we'll have to see the driver skills, the driver with the best skills who will get out and will be on top today at this race. So now we are heading up to the qualifying session, and pole position here is very important because by being at pole position, you avoid any accidents that may happen behind, and it also on a very difficult track to overtake. If you know how to cover from the undercut, then you may have 50% of the race done for you. And yeah, the other thing is about the undercut, that may be one of the ways of taking away the lead from your rivals, but you also have to take care about traffic, which also is determinant on this track. So, well, we're now about to start qualifying. We see that the cars are about to leave the pit lane. Some drivers have already started to leave the pit lane. It's Rogers, the first driver on the Racing Point, and his teammate to Iron Apple. Both Racing Point drivers have gone out of the pit lane now. Now many other drivers coming out of the pit lane now. So looks Rogers has let his teammate Iron Apple through, and now Iron Apple is the driver leading the field. Then followed by his teammate Rogers. After him and very far behind comes Ross Storm on the Williams, followed by the Alfa Romeo of Banana Hammock, and then comes the Red Bull of AA Gaming, and many drivers have now left the pit lane. Almost no one has stayed in at the moment, so hope everyone knows here how to leave room for the rivals, since it's also some very difficult here at Monaco, leaving room for faster cars coming behind you. Now there goes Iron Apple, starting finally his flying lap. We are going to follow him through Sector 1, and we are going to compare his lap time to his teammate. There goes Iron Apple, finishing Sector 1, 18.4 his time. Then following Rogers now, he does 18.6, 2 times lower than what his teammate has done. After him we had the Williams of Rostorm, which we have missed his time at Sector 1, but we'll go back now with Iron Apple. Want to see, oh, he's met some traffic there. Iron Apple met traffic there. I think it was James Ralph. Yeah, James Ralph got in his way, and maybe his lap is ruined now. He gets purple Sector 2, but what is Rogers doing compared to that? 52.2 for Iron Apple, 52.5, even slower still with what happened there. And James Ralph now gonna block also Rogers, maybe. Not so. Enough distance between these two drivers. Iron Apple finally didn't complete a lap, I think so. Rogers gets first place. Iron Apple, yeah, maybe a glitch of the game. Time wasn't shown, but Iron Apple now 110.3, then followed by Rogers 110.5. 2 tenths behind him only. Then Banana Hammock very far behind. AA Gaming also, but he's on medium tire, so That's a better explanation, but Banana Hammock and Rostorm both with very slow lap times really. 2 or 3 seconds behind what the Racing Point drivers have done. So they're gonna have to go for another shot, since that time definitely doesn't count at all. Big Papa has now improved into 3rd place, but is still very far, 1.1 seconds behind Iron Apple. So Racing Point's very dominant at the moment. Now Euge has improved into 3rd place, but still 8 tenths behind. So yeah, as I said, Racing Point drivers very fast at the moment. We'll see if any of the other drivers are able to defeat them. By the way, I have to say only 9 drivers have completed a lap time at the moment, 10 now. So
Oops, sorry.
Oh.
It just looks as though Iron Apple is slowly but surely extending his pole time at the front. He's actually improved to a 1:10.2. So he's definitely putting the pace in early in this qualifying session and showing his pace. And definitely the 2 race points, as you were saying, David, the 2 race points definitely showing some good pace. It doesn't look as though anyone else in Div 2 can match them at the moment. Obviously, you've got the Red Bull of AA Gaming on the medium tyres. Interesting to see how that strategy could play out for him, or if he decides to go to the red mark soft tyres towards the end of the session. But definitely an interesting strategy choice out the gate. But it's certainly looking close from Big Papa Fury down to TWS. It's only about a 10th of a second, so they are looking very close. Obviously a very short lap time here at Monaco, and it's obviously one of the shorter tracks on the calendar, but still 19 corners to negotiate. And as you were alluding to earlier, David, it's a very challenging circuit to get your power around, and it is honestly. You look left, there's a wall, you look right, and there's a wall, and you look forward, there's a wall. This place is filled with walls, and it really is a very challenging circuit. But nonetheless, they're doing a very good job. Some pretty quick times out of the gate, and still sort of 12 minutes left to go in the session, so a lot of time left to improve, David.
Yeah, that's true. As I say, we have said a very difficult track. Walls are everywhere here. And yeah, very close by these guys, excluding the Racing Points, which are on other world right now, really. 8 tenths in front of the rest of the field. But if we start from Euge coming to Banana Hammock, that will be 3rd to 9. They are all in 1 second. So it's very close, the field over there. But we also have to remember that there are 7 drivers who haven't completed a lap time yet. So we may see a surprise coming there. Maybe one of them has the pace to get in front of the Racing Points. We don't know. Now many of them are coming out of the pit lane. For example, Stig, who hasn't completed a lap time yet. I remember he got pole position some weeks ago at the Netherlands. So he may be also challenging today for pole.
He is definitely a quick driver. Obviously, I commentated on him last week in Division 3 at Spain. He did a very good job, took the win in a pretty dominant fashion, and interesting to see how he fares, of course, against the Division 2 guys because of the recent reshuffle. But that Stig is definitely a very competent driver and knows what he's doing, so let's see how he negotiates the streets of Monaco.
I also have to mention about James Ralph. I know he's very fast too, so maybe another driver to check too. Also, AA Gaming has decided to go for soft tires, so we'll see how this goes for him. He's already on lap, and he does a purple sector 1 actually. He's improving 4 times what he did previously. Still, that's not enough to get first place. I don't know why the game puts purple sector 1. He's only improving 4 times, but yeah, it can. With that 4 times, he's moving now, I think, into 6th place, and he has 2 more sectors to go. So, and James Ralph now has improved into 4th place, very close to what Euge did, but still, Racing Point drivers keep being unbeatable now.
That Stig is on a pretty good lap in 18.7 to the first sector, but not too great. But into the Nouvelle chicane, you'll be looking out for that 100-meter board, breaking down the gears as quick as you can, try and avoid that wall on the inside. Straight line the exit as much as you can on this run into the back. It's a very committed corner, just a bit of a dab on the brakes, chuck it in, as Stig does there through the swimming pool chicane. He does go purple to the middle sector, so definitely hooked up this latter stage of the lap. Bit of a wall tap there as he comes into Raskas. Big.
Oh, he misses the corner a bit there, a bit wide.
Very deep in the brakes. Through turn 18 into 19, you just want to have the shortest run to the line. It's not been the most hooked up lap in the world. It does put in P5. They were 1:11.1 and nearly matching the time of James Ralph there. Only 6,000ths of a second between the two. So looks like their pace is pretty competent in Division 2.
I would actually say these three guys, El, James Ralph and Stig, are very close, along 8 tenths behind the leader, and actually it's only 40 tenths that separate these guys. So yeah, very close to them, and AA Gaming is not so far behind, only 1 tenth behind them actually. So very competitive time actually by these drivers. Oh, and Iron Apple improves much more what he did previously, now going to a 19.7. He's improved he's overtaken the 110 gap, moving to 19, and Rogers has done the same too. He got a 19.9. So, and this guy, not Bonaldo, has improved into 3rd place. That's also a great job from him, and he's 4 times in front of El, James Ralph and Stig. So yeah, as I said, the guy that hadn't completed a lap time could surprise us later, and here's one example. Not Bonaldo has just done that. But still there are more than 7 minutes on this qualifying session, so yeah, we can still expect for more surprises coming at the coming minutes. And we still are missing times from Brad Tay, from Siley and from Maverick, so yeah, surprises may come there. Now Twist has improved and Ari Gustavo too into 4th and 5th place. El, James Ralph and Stig move into 6th, 7th and 8th place.
So the two racing points looking very, very dominant at the moment. So what is that, 7 tenths clear of their nearest competitor, and Rogers still 2 tenths off his teammate. So it looks like the two racing points looking very dominant, and obviously one lap pace is one thing around this track. Obviously you need to have the consistency to carry it around the whole 39 laps of the Principality that we're going to have tonight. So hopefully they can have the consistency, and it's a good race between them. And while it is very tricky, obviously it's just going to be damage limitation. If you don't get wing damage, you're probably in a good position to take control, especially in that midfield. So, you know, obviously the likes of the Stig and, you know, James Ralph, who we've seen have put them consistent lap times in, should look pretty good towards the end of the race and towards the end of the session. Still 7th and 8th as it stands, and probably some time to improve, as you do have James Ralph on a lap time in the red Ferrari, coming up by Rivage then, very fast set of corners, and then into Massenet, which then leads into the Casino Square. Just a quick flick right in 3rd gear, get the power down, bit of a wall tap from the Ferrari, so not the best thing to do, but he is 2 tenths up on his original time. Coming through is that Mirabeau into the Lowe's hairpin. 1st gear to get the rotation, 30 miles an hour is the slowest corner on the Formula 1 Canada. Through into Portier, then just want to leave it in 2nd gear, use that camber on the inside to get the rotation, and flat out then up the gears through the tunnel. You can hear the car engine echo through the tunnel as he enters into the Nouvelle chicane, braking just at the 100 board, trail braking nicely, just trying to straight line the exit, using the steering lock to his full advantage and getting the most of it. Through into the back, fully committed there, and into the swimming pool chicane. He is purple to the middle sector, 2.5 tenths up on his personal best, which is a very good time. Let's see if he can negotiate Raskas pretty well. Does it very nicely. And then into the penultimate corner, which leads into turn 19. Very nicely done. And the straight line to the run to the line. Let's see what time he can do across the line. It is going to be P3, a 1:10.6, and only 2/100ths of a second quicker than the Renault of Bonaldo, which is looking pretty close. And well, the Stig probably going to come out for a lap time soon. But James Ralph with some pretty impressive pace then.
Yeah, great lap by James Ralph. Oh, and AA Gaming has now improved his time, 7 tenths only behind Aaron Apple now, 2 tenths in front of James Ralph. So didn't see that one coming. But yeah, great lap by AA Gaming, and we have the first retirement of qualifying from part of Banana Hammock. So we could say now the fight is more to see is from third to behind, because Racing Points are on their own world. So we're gonna see fight for pole position between these two drivers, but apart from them, they don't seem to have any rival now. So the two groups we could say are the battle for the lead between Iron Apple and Rogers, and then the fight for third place between AA Gaming, James Ralph, Stig, Twist, Ari Gustavo, all those guys coming behind, and Stig still not still on the pit lane and not going out for a flying lap. Then we have Twist and Ari Gustavo both on a warm-up lap. Bonaldo is also on the pit lane, so not well. We have Big Papa, who I know also very fast guy, on his out lap, so we may follow him. We're gonna follow Big Papa. I think he's the closest driver, or we can also follow Twist, who's about to start his flying lap too. Well, we have now Ari Gustavo. I think, yeah, we have some guys to follow. We're going to go on board with him through the sector 1. Taking very fast these corners, looks like, but we have to see what time is he doing. No, not so fast actually. It's slower by only 25 thousandths of a second, but still he has to get more pace if he wants. Fight for that third place would be what realistic we could talk about. And Big Papa is improving. He got purple sector, not really purple sector, but he's improving his lap time, I'm sure. There he misses a bit the car on that corner. Going through the tunnel section. Going through the chicane. Very close to cut the corner actually. A bit slow I think on that. But he's improving a lot his time. 6 tenths, not going to be enough, but now with Twist 2, we're gonna compare this guy's lap time, and Big Papa moves into 6th place, not bad by him. Then goes Twist, last corner for him, onto the finish line, and he does defeats Big Papa by minimal amount of difference, only 1/10. Oh, and Stig finally is gone out of the pit lane. And Racing Point drivers also out of the pit lane, so we are now following Rogers. This is going to be most probably his final shot he will have at this qualifying session. Going through sector 1, very slow sector by him comparing to what he has done previously. So this may compromise his fight for pole position. Yeah, he's on 2nd place now. So now Iron Apple starting his flying lap. Last chance he will have. Oh, and Roger has aborted his lap time. He's going for another shot. He will have enough time to do so. Oh, he cuts massively the corner there, trying to win some time. Now Iron Apple into sector 1, also not improving his previous lap time. Stick also very slow sector 1, and he stopped the car there. That's it for him. He won't be able to improve. Unfortunately, he won't be able to start higher than 10th place. Now Iron Apple is still not improving, and now he's got his lap time invalidated, so that's all for him. Following Rogers, also not able to improve, 1/10 slower than his previous lap time. So yeah, looks no one is being able to improve. James Ralph at the pit now, so that's it for him at this qualifying. Following AA Gaming now, his lap time also got invalidated now, so we have one less driver there. And oh, now Rogers has made contact with the wall, and that will be it for him too. Bonaldo, his lap time invalidated too. Big Papa is not even on a flying lap. So that's the end of qualifying session. Iron Apple is on pole position today, followed by his teammate Rogers. Very predictable since how qualifying was turning on. So yeah, as we predicted, Iron Apple and Rogers are on the front row today. Then third, AA Gaming is going to start third, James Ralph on fourth, Not Bonaldo fifth, Twist on sixth, Big Papa on seventh, Ari Gustavo 8th, Euch 9th, Stick 10th, Tom Marsh 11th, Tick 12th, Ross Storm 13th, Banana Hammock on 14th, then Monkey Mafia starting on 15th place, Power on 16th, Silay 17th, Super Nash Bros 18th, and finally Brate and the Maverick even unable to complete even a lap time. But very interesting qualifying session, I have to say. The lead was very predictable, but still very fun to watch how the battle for third place turned in, and also the fight for pole between both Racing Point drivers. So I've seen a very interesting race coming on now. The strategy is going to be very important, and now that Racing Points have front row, they can try to play a good strategy, working as a team to cover from their rivals.
Well, after 18 minutes of qualifying, then it is Iron Apple that will take pole position. Less than 2/10 clear of his teammate, so it has been very, very close between the two Racing Points, and interesting to see how they carry that momentum forward into 39 laps of Monaco. AA Gaming rounding off the top three with James Ralph joining him at the end of that second row there, and Bonaldo in P5. In the Renault, good showing definitely with a 10-6, very, very close in the midfield though with TWS in P6, Big Papa Fury P7, Aragust in P8, Huge in P9, the Stick in P10, good showing for his debut in Division 2, rounded off 10, Tom Marsh, Teak, Ross, Banana, Monkey, Power, Silly and Super Nash Bro, with Brad Tay and the Maverick rounding off the grid with no time set. So interesting to see what the strategy they're taking in. It's going to be very difficult for them to come through the field. The Maverick, of course, I've seen a very, very competent driver and very, very quick when he puts his head down and sets those laps in. So interesting to see how he can carry any momentum forward into the race. Of course, strategy does play a good factor in this race, as you did allude to earlier, David. You definitely need to get it right. If you pit out too early, you're going to come out in traffic, get held up, not be able to get past. If you pit too late, you're going to lose too much time on your old tyres. So it's definitely going to be a patience game, waiting game, seeing if there's a safety car. Obviously, a very, very high chance of a safety car tonight, obviously being at the Principality of Monaco, very, very close to the wall, and I'm not going to be too surprised if we see a few retirements, especially in the first opening couple of laps or so.
Okay, so now we are heading into the formation lap. Yeah, as you say, strategy very important. You have to get it right, and also this may play good or bad for the Racing Point drivers, since they will, if they keep the same pace, they won't be able to pit on the same lap. So this may help their rivals coming behind, because the driver who pits later maybe will lose some pace to the drivers that pit in front, so before, so, and they can't pit at the same time because they will just lose time. So this may play good or bad for them. We will have to see through how the race develops. Now formation lap is starting. As we know, every driver on the top 10 is starting on soft tires. Then drivers out of the top 10, we see Tom Marsh, Tick, Ross Storm, Banana Hammock, Power, Super Nash Bros and Maverick starting on medium tires. Then we see Monkey Mafia, the only driver on softs. He's trying to go for an aggressive strategy. And finally, Silay and Brate on hard tires, which I think there's no need to go on hard on this track. Personally, in my personal opinion, what I would do, I wouldn't use hard compound on this track. I think medium soft is enough for this track, so hard will just make you go slower. But well, we have to see how race turns out. I maybe would decide to go on hards if I had to go for a very early pit stop, try to go to the end if a safety car came out. But apart from that, I really won't go for hard tires. But we have to see how strategy finally will play for these guys, and also very interesting to check out how will Iron Apple and Roger decide to do their pit strategy, because as I have already said, they can't pit on the same lap without losing time. So this may cost them an undercut from their rivals, but also have to be careful with traffic, which is also determinant on this track. It's very difficult to overtake, so meeting traffic after your pit stop may just completely ruin your race, completely ruin your strategy, and degrade your tires, so it's definitely not what you want on this track. So now we see drivers going onto the grid to take their spots to start finally this Monaco Grand Prix. About weather, it seems very clear. No clouds nor nothing that could indicate that rain will come in the coming laps, or maybe at the end of the race, but how weather shows now, it won't happen. We are following now Maverick, who's the last driver on the grid, who's going to take his spot. So finally drivers are formed now. Everything is ready to start. Lights out and away we go. Iron Apple did get a good start. Covers quickly into turn 1. AA Gaming defending from James Ralph, and Ian Ralph almost overtakes AA Gaming. They are still fighting through the sector 1. There goes James Ralph. We are on board with him. Great start by him. Oh, we got yellow flag at the back. Yeah, some guys with wing damage, and we already have a safety car. Safety car on the first lap, very common from Monaco. Some guys with wing damage already. Seems it's Monkey Mafia, I think. No, it's his teammate Brate, I think, the driver with wing damage there. But thankfully no one has retired the race. And now we'll see if maybe a crazy strategy for anyone trying to go for hards to the end, maybe. What do you think?
Oh yeah, definitely this safety car is going to be playing a massive factor in some people's strategy. I was on board with AA Gaming in his battle with James Ralph. It was very, very close, side by side through Beau Rivage. Just a bit of a tap with the wall from AA Gaming. He's lost the front right end plate of his front wing, which is definitely going to be losing a lot of downforce. So interesting to see if he comes in for a pit lane. The hard tyre I wouldn't be too confident with to the end of the race, so I'd probably stick a bet on them going to 2 sets of mediums, perhaps, maybe a set of softs then a medium. Of course, we can't play out the factor of another safety car. We only got a sector in this race before a safety car. And does AA Gaming peel into the pits? Yes, he does. So he is coming into the pits. But yeah, I definitely wouldn't rule out the possibility of another safety car, so I'm probably sure they're going to factor that into their strategy. So yeah, into the pit lane for some medium tyres does AA Gaming. We've got TWS in for a set of tyres as well. Let's have a little look what colour striped tyres he goes onto. So he's going onto the yellow striped medium tyres as well. Maybe to the end of the race, I wouldn't be too confident in that. Williams having to double stack both for medium tyres, and it looks like almost half the grid is into the pit lane, so this is a big shake-up, perhaps towards the front of the grid. And as you can see, Silly in the Renault is up 8 positions, already up to P8, just from P9, just from keeping his nose clean.
And Maverick has gone into hard tires, so here we have an interesting one. Rostorm also has gone into hard tires, so maybe they are trying to go to the end, actually. We have to see. Power also has gone into the hard tires, and so has Tom Marsh too. So yeah, as I said, maybe we could see that strategy of trying to go to the end on hard tires. Finally, we have to see if it works or not. This also this very great start by Monkey Mafia. He started at the back and he's improving to 10th place now. Sile also a very great start. He's the driver with more positions gained, with 8 for him into 9th place, and he's on those hard tires. Then Stig, who started 10th, and Big Papa have 1 places too. And while Racing Points have kept their 1st and 2nd place.
interesting to see when the safety car will come in. Obviously, just waiting for everyone to queue up. I think we're waiting for the Maverick towards the tail end of the field, so I probably would be out for another lap or so. So we are going to be getting underway and racing on around about lap 4. Obviously, everyone doesn't want to really be weaving around too much at the moment. That is only going to cause unnecessary wear to the tyres. So expect towards the end for them to start weaving around sort of like snakes to try and get some temperature into those tyres. But obviously not yet. They're not going to be wanting to do that just yet, as that will just cause some unnecessary wear to the tyres. But as it stands, Iron Apple and Rogers kept their P1 and 2 positions, with James Ralph up from P4 to claim P3, the final step on the podium. Be interested to see how he can hold on to that with constant pressure from Bernardo and Big Papa Fury, who's up a couple of positions, and Stig on his debut in Division 2 up into P6 already and up 4 places just from keeping his nose clean. That is the importance here at Monaco. Don't get involved in any incidents, keep your nose down and keep consistent. Don't make any unnecessary moves into turn 1 or 2 or 3 or the first lap in general, as a lot of people have and just got caught up in incidents, which definitely isn't their fault. But safety car is in this lap, interestingly enough, so we're not going to be waiting too much for the Maverick, who is actually joining us towards the tail end of the grid. So Iron Apple does become the effective safety car. He's going to be the one to lead the way across the line as soon as the safety car's in, and he has actually punched it very early and very sideways out of the final corner to bring it on to green flag racing, still under pressure from his teammate, who's only about 7/10 back, so didn't get quite the restart he would have wanted into Sandabot. James Ralph further back, just trying to put some pressure on Big Papa Fury, of course. So it looks like the field is very spread out off this restart. Further back, we might have a bit of a kerfuffle, but yeah, very spread out off this restart, and it doesn't look like anyone's going to be going for any significant moves anytime soon, David.
Oh, now Iron Apple's pulling away almost 1 second in front of his teammate. He's 9/10 in front, actually. And James Ralph has also lost some pace, even with Rogers. He's 1.1 second now behind him, and also Iron Apple now 1 second in front of his teammate. And also to point out, don't know why, but AA Gaming has a 3-second time penalty. I'm not sure why is that. But yeah, you don't want to have a penalty too early, and well, 3 seconds may compromise a lot later. Iron Apple keeps pulling away, 1.1 second in front of his teammate Rogers. Now Rogers started to close a bit, and James Ralph's trying to stick with them, but just losing pace through the following corners. Bonaldo has also lost a lot compared to James Ralph. He's 2.2 seconds behind him, actually. So not seeing so many fights at track at the moment. We could go with AA Gaming, who's now behind Siley. He's on fresher tires, only 1 lap, but still fresher tires and a faster compound. So we're going to go on board with him. Can he try to make a move on Siley now? Monaco, very difficult track to overtake, so not sure if he'll be able to get the move done. There he goes, very close. He's going for a dive bomb or not right now. No, unable to do so. Very far behind to try it even. Then at the front, we are not having so much fights, but Rogers has catch a bit with his teammate, at least not 1 second behind him. Well, now he's again 1 second behind. Not able to stick so much with him. Back again with AA Gaming, who's now very close to Siley. He's on the slipstream. Is he going for a dive bomb or not? Try to go. No, he's not finding the gap to do so. Siley cuts the corner there. Not sure if he has got a warning or not. DRS now going to be enabled, and we'll see if that may help drivers overtake, but DRS zone here is very short. Only 1 DRS zone, the main straight, and not so easy to overtake. Oh, and AA Gaming now fighting with Siley there. He's got in front finally, and Siley's had to pit, so they most probably had contact there. Yeah, Siley's got wing damage, so unfortunately not able to focus what happened there, but yeah, some accident definitely went on there, so unfortunate for Siley, who was the driver who took all the damage there. Oh, and Big Papa's now got a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings, and we have a yellow flag now. What is it this time? Yellow flag, it's Iron Apple! Iron Apple's made a mistake there! Mistake from Iron Apple, and there's a safety car again! And now Tiggs got a 5-second time penalty for a collision with Tom Marsh, but wow, unfortunate for Iron Apple, and now James Ralph is into the lead of the race. Oh, but I think it's because they are both on the... No, James Ralph has decided to stay out. A bit of a questionable decision. I think these laps what the correct laps to go for a pit stop, and I think Rogers can take those medium tires to the end of the race, so this may be race over for James Ralph if he has just messed completely his strategy there. But as the safety cars coming out, we can expect another one to come out later. So very unpredictable race, but I think Rogers' strategy was the correct one. I think those medium tires can get to the end of the race. So it may be a race compromise for James Ralph if there is no more safety cars on the coming laps. But as we have seen already, in only this lap 7 of the race, we already have 2 safety cars. And the most frustrated driver in the field right now is definitely Iron Apple, who had everything to take the win today, and because of mistake has just fallen now into 18th place. Definitely not what he would wanted to do, and this may serve the win for Rogers today, who I think is now the favorite to win it because of the strategy he has just made.
Definitely so. Iron Apple, of course, going to be very frustrated with that. I don't quite see what happened, but it was literally just, I think, a simple mistake to make, and he lost his entire front wing, needing it round to the pits and managing to get back into the race, which is the important thing. And this safety car definitely going to play dividends for him. Just going to be interesting to see how well he can use that pace. Of course, compared to third or fourth, he had some great pace, let alone towards the tail end of the grid. Of course, with Monaco being so hard to overtake, it's going to be very difficult for him to come through the field, but he may come through and surprise us. And as you said, David, Rogers definitely going to be the favourite to win now. He is in 4th place, so may get caught in traffic and allow James Ralph to pull away a little bit and pull into the pits. So a bit of a questionable strategy from Ferrari as per usual, but never know, it might come to surprise us. Banana Hammock as well, up 11 places, which is definitely a good improvement. Obviously, he hasn't pitted yet, taking that mandatory pit stop, but who knows, maybe the track position is more important than taking that mandatory pit stop, getting his head down and keeping clear of any damage, which even Iron Apple isn't completely free from yet. He was leading the race by quite a substantial margin pretty consistently, and just a simple mistake under pressure saw him fall back to the back of the grid. But it'd be interesting to see what he could do off the restart, no doubt, and everyone just sort of lining up. He is on medium tyres, I'd say probably comfortably to the end of the race, but it looks like a pretty horrific traffic jam towards the back of Lowe's hairpin. Everyone going very slowly, but yeah, just everyone making some interesting strategy choices is going to be probably the main factor of today's race. Of course, we've got most of the grid on the mediums, we've got the front 2 on the softs. Banana Hammock starting on the race on these medium tyres, so probably going to take them towards the end of the race and go for a set of softs, be very quick towards the 10.
Oh, and safety car is leaving on this lap, so James Ralph is going to relaunch the race. And actually, I have to say, the only drivers who haven't pitted yet are the top 3. Everyone else has already pitted. So I think they can go to the end of the race. Now, James Ralph relaunches the race. And, oh, Banana Hammock lost a lot with them. Don't know what happened at that relaunch, but pretty terrible relaunch by Banana Hammock there. Oh, and Banana Hammock's crashed, I think. I think Banana Hammock crashed against the wall, but yeah, Banana Hammock's got wing damage there. So this may play perfect for James Ralph and for Bonaldo. Now Banana Hammock is 3 seconds behind them. So if now some way Banana Hammock can hold Rogers behind, this would be perfect for them, for James Ralph and for Bonaldo. But not sure how much can Banana Hammock actually hold Rogers behind him with that wing damage. But also we have to say Rogers will have to be patient to overtake Banana Hammock, because he may, because of going desesperated, getting wing damage, and that would be race over for him.
Oh, there's a big crash towards the back of the grid. Who is that in the wall? I think it's Tom Marsh.
Tom Marsh at the wall.
So the Mercedes, I've got to say that's probably going to be where he's clipped the inside wall and gone around there, and the stick picking up a 5-second time penalty for corner cutting. But yeah, very, very weird crash to happen for Tom Marsh. He's managed to get it going again, but fall back to the end of the grid. The important thing is he hasn't picked up any damage, which is going to be definitely good. But Iron Apple already up to 15th place, so making those moves early and using this pace now, which is very critical, with Ronaldo into the pit lane for his mandatory stop 2 laps after the restart, and Tom Marsh as well into the pit lane. So interesting to see why Bonardo didn't pit under safety cars. Tom Marsh has decided to just call it a day.
Oh, and Iron Apples had some accident there. Iron Apple has wing damage again. Oh, and Iron Apples crashed there, lost a bit of car, but it's now race completely ruined for him. Wing damage again, and at the back of the field,
the man favourite to win then, having the best lap at all on lap 10, having to come through. Oh, and there's a big crash at the Lowe's hairpin. There's a Haas round. There's a 2 Haas's round, and it looks as though Iron Apple is just going to be carrying the Haas all the way around the Lowe's hairpin there. But it looks like a Regastavo is going to hit into the side of the Ferrari. This is absolute calamity coming on here, coming through Portier. I'm not too sure what happened. It looks like the AlphaTauri and the Haas got involved in an incident, but that is definitely not at all what you want to see. And there's going to be a virtual safety car brought out, so of course the drivers having to adhere to a 40% race speed delta, and that is a big crash for a
Oh, big crash by
the AlphaTauri.
Monkey Mafia and Ari Gustavo.
Absolutely insane crash, absolute calamity. But this virtual safety car has opened up a pretty good pocket for James Ralph to come into the pits, and we're back to green flag racing. So Rogers is going to re-inherit the race lead off the restart, 2 seconds clear of AA Gaming, who after a pretty dismal start to the race has managed to find himself back into P2. He's got huge, and TWS is hunting him down. Those uncaged lions coming after him. James Ralph under pressure from Ross Thorne as he comes out of the pit lane, but it looks like those fresh tyres is definitely going to help him towards the start of this restart. But Iron Apple coming into the pits for a new front wing. He's not given up just yet, still got a long way to go in this race, and not going to completely write it off at the moment as it stands. But definitely the top 3 looking close between AA Gaming and Huge, both with some good pace and both looking feisty, so hopefully we can see a pretty good fight for P2. But Rogers definitely looking good to just sail off into the distance and take this race win, as long as he doesn't bottle it like his teammate did a few laps prior, David.
Yeah, that's true. Rogers looks very comfortable. Oh, and yellow flag again at sector 3. What is it this time? No, false alarm. Nothing has happened. Yeah, as you said, Rogers looks very comfortable to take this win today. If he just doesn't make a mistake as his teammate. He is shown to be very consistent at the moment. He's actually pulled away from AA Gaming now. There was a 2-second gap in the previous lap. Now it's almost a 4-second gap between these two drivers. So yeah, Rogers looking to be on his own world right now. And yeah, we have, as you said, interesting battle for P2 between AA Gaming and Euge. AA Gaming also with that 3-second penalty looking very compromised. Even if he gets track position, he will still lose if he can't pull away 3 seconds in front of Euge. Then going to the back of the field, Iron Apple is very far behind actually, but a safety car could save him and that's very possible that may happen. Then Stig, also very unfortunate for him, and for Bonaldo also, seemed very fast at the start, but unfortunately, we have another safety car, and what is it this time? And James Ralph has now got a 5-second penalty, I think so. Yeah, 5-second penalty for James Ralph. Not sure what caused the safety car in this case. No one's DNF'd and I don't see a big accident, so yeah, not sure why his safety car came out, but this plays perfectly for Iron Apple, for Stig and for Bonaldo, whose race was most probably over after everything that happened. And James Ralph is pitting. Oh, James Ralph got wing damage, also full wing damage. Not sure what happened with James Ralph there. He's going for a set of medium tires, again trying to go to the end of the race. This also helps AA Gaming to catch with Roger, who was pulling away. Now field is going to be together again.
So it just looked as though James Ralph and Power come together a little bit into the Novel chicane. It just looked as though James Ralph was a bit too deep under brakes and caught the front wing on the back of the McLaren. But James Ralph coming out behind Iron Apple, so the two previous favourites to win the race are now with each other through 11th and 12th off the restart. And Rogers and AA Gaming looking very comfortable up there at the front. So Rogers not coming into the pit lane for some fresh tyres and queuing up behind the safety car, who has to lead the race, lead the cars around the track for a couple of times, just waiting for everyone to queue up again so they can clear the debris. But as it stands, it's a very shaken up grid to what we saw in qualifying. Rogers, of course, nothing really changed. He's managed to inherit the race lead and make no mistakes, unlike his teammate and the people around him. So he's done a very good job to keep that where it is, and everyone else just sort of filing in between. And the Maverick, with a very good launch, he's already up into P8 after starting from a dead last on the field. So definitely going to be an interesting race. He's definitely got some good pace and keeping his nose clean, importantly. But Iron Apple up into P11 after the safety car restart, which is going to play pretty good. He's already higher than he was, despite the couple of instances he's been in, as well as James Ralph. He's going to be up close with him as well. So interesting to see how the Ferrari and Race will find their way through the field. We're approaching the halfway mark of the race, lap 14 of 39. Not quite halfway there yet, but approaching there in a few laps time, and hopefully we'll be under green flags for a couple more than a few laps at a time. So it does get by just a little bit quicker. But 14 of 39, and it's been a pretty intense race and nothing short of what you can expect in Monaco.
But also to point out, even with all the carnage that has gone out, we only have 3 DNFs, so very lucky have been the drivers here. With that carnage we may even have like 6 DNFs, but we only have 3, so not so bad. And now everyone is back at the fight because of this safety car, so hopefully we have a clean race on the coming laps. We've already had a lot of craziness, carnage going on. Personally, my opinion is that Rogers will win this race. I think that's the easiest choice. Track position is more important, I think so, in this track than pace or being on a faster compound of tires. So I think Rogers has everything to win this one. But it will also be interesting if Iron Apple is able to recover places now. He would have to make 9 places if he wants to be back at the top. Well, he had more pace, but as I said, track position very important to him. So it's not going to be easy for him to do so. And now we have a 5-second penalty for Powerits and Bonaldo for a collision. Oh, and Bonaldo's got a wing damage now. He didn't keep his distance on the safety car, and he, for some reason, decides not to pit. He should have pitted for new tire, for new wing, and well, for that way new tires also, but decided not to do so. Unexplainable decision. Most probably safety car is going to leave on this lap. I don't feel this altogether now, so no need for it to stay anymore. But maybe we could think about maybe AA Gaming trying to attack Rogers. You think AA Gaming will be able to keep the pace with Rogers now that he will be at his back?
Well, he definitely could. AA Gaming is a very quick driver and very competent, but he is on 5-lap old and medium tyres, and the pace Rogers is showing, I wouldn't count it too likely, but maybe, you know, he could surprise us and launch an attack. It would definitely be good to see if he can get in front, and obviously with Monaco being so difficult to overtake, it's going to be tricky, but hopefully he can put on a show. But honestly, if I was to put money on it, I'd say Rogers is going to take this one. Safety car is in this lap, so Rogers is going to lead the way once again for a safety car restart, becoming the effective safety car. He can back up the pack, and as you can see now, they're going to be weaving around like snakes, trying to use the abrasion of the track to get some temperature into those tyres off the restart, to have the prime malleability and the prime grip in those tyres to get themselves off the restart very well. Coming through Raskas, then be interested to see when he's going to punch it. It can be anywhere between now and the timeline. He's going to leave it very, very late. He's going to punch it just off the exit of this corner where he's gone, and he's going. And AA Gaming hasn't reacted as well as he probably could have done, but we're back on the green flag racing once again. Side by side is Big Papa Fury on the outside into Sandavot. Can he get it around the outside? No, he's going to back off and wait there and just try and set up a cutback. Can he get side by side up Beau Rivage? No, just going to sit back once again, and it is just a
yellow flag. Iron Apple's DNF. Iron Apple DNF.
Out of the race. Big pile up towards the back of the grid, and there's a massive pile up by Beau Rivage. It looks as though Banana Hammock is involved with that as well. Him going side by side with Iron Apple, he's been put into the wall, and Banana Hammock once again managing to go around. No safety car, surprisingly, as we only just restarted the race. But big yellow flags and big incident for Iron Apple, who's had a complete and utter shambolic race here at Monaco after taking pole position and looking favourite to win. Looks like he just went down from his first mistake through the swimming pool chicane, but Rogers already pulling a 2-second lead over AA Gaming. Looks like Big Papa Fury, the other Red Bull, is putting pressure on the Haas very close into the Novo chicane, nearly going into the back of him and definitely going to be losing a lot of time there. But this is the battle for P4. It's going to be interesting to see the 9-up old hard tyres compared to the likes of TWS on 15-up old medium. I'd say the tyre wear is definitely TWS, of course, closing down on the Williams of Hughes up in front, but big crash from Iron Apple there, David.
Oh, yellow flag on sector 3 now. Oh, there's a big crash, I think, there. Something went out on the pit lane, but nothing more happened there. Then, yeah, Roger just flying away in just one lap and a bit more. He's already 3.2 seconds in front of AA Gaming. Then Euch has lost the pace with AA Gaming too. So, and Euch has wing damage actually, I think so. Maybe that could explain why, actually, yeah. Confirmed Euch has wing damage, that's why he's going so slow. Oh, and we have another yellow flag. No, false alarm. Twist now at the back of Euch, gonna try to overtake him, and he's very close. DRS going to be enabled at any moment. Then at the back, most drivers have a gap between them and their most close rival. We have a yellow flag on sector 2. It's Power. It's has crashed there. Big accident by him. Banana Hammock very far behind too. Bonaldo also very far there, and we have a fight. Another crash going on there. I think the McLaren of Super Nash has wing damage. Yeah, he has wing damage. The interesting thing on this race is now on the midfield. Nothing to see at the lead of the race. So the interesting things and all the carnage is coming on the mid of the field, or even in the fight for third place, as now we are seeing between Euch and Twist. Euch, who is with wing damage now, trying to defend from the attack of Twist, who's now going, but as I said, we have been saying through all this transmission, track position is very important here at Monaco. So we see even drivers with wing damage are being able to defend very easily from drivers who have much more pace behind them. Even tire difference, lap age difference of tires and pace, even fresher tires and softer compound of tires, still very difficult to overtake. If we want to follow now a battle on track, we would go with this fight for third place between Euch and Big Papa, who has now catch with them. Stig now pitting for new tires on his debut on Division 2, race not going his way at the moment. He's gone for a new set of soft tires. And Rogers just flying away, is now almost 6 seconds in front of AA Gaming. Then Twist still finding it very difficult to overtake. We have another yellow flag. It's the fight between Super Nash and Tick, I think so. No, it's not. But we have a yellow flag on sector 3. It's clear now. Stig is coming out of the pit lane now. He comes behind Bonaldo. Bonaldo is on medium tires and Stig on soft tires. We'll see if he now has the ability of getting in front of Bonaldo, or if Bonaldo is going to cover him Then going back again with the fight for third place between Euge, Twist and Big Papa, Twist not being able to overtake. Oh, and they touch, and Big Papa is spun there. Oh, Big Papa's in the wall now. Drivers are going through. Lucky for them, and we have virtual safety car now. Strong accident going on there. Big Papa has full wing damage. That's race completely ruined for him there. I think most probably was a mistake by his own. And now he'll have to pit. If he is able to manage that car to the pit lane, he's one lap to do. If he doesn't crash because of not having any traction there, we'll have to see if he is able to make it. And now Twist got a 3-second time penalty. Track limits. We have green flag again. And Rogers now pull away 8 seconds in front of AA Gaming. Oh, and Twist very close now to Euge, but still not able to make the overtaking maneuver. DRS open for Twist. Yeah, very close to Euge, but yeah, very difficult to overtake. Don't know where he may find actually a spot to overtake. I would say my prediction is that Euge will keep Twist behind in the coming 20 laps of the race. My prediction is that Twist won't be able to overtake Euge at all. What do you say? What do you think? Do you think Twist will be able to overtake Euge? I think he will not be able to do so.
Well, it definitely could happen. I mean, I don't think on sheer pace he'll be able to. It's definitely going to be very tricky. Unless, of course, he can get a good exit off the tunnel, which is exactly what he's done. Huge, very, very deep off Portier, so let's see if the Haas can launch an attack. It looks like he's going to lift off and back out of that one and not risk anything. But if Huge keeps making these mistakes, as you can see, a double front lock up there into the Novel chicane, definitely is possible. And as we've seen with the likes of Big Papa Fury, who's had to come into the pit after kneeling the car around a whole lap with red wing damage. It's
mistake by Twist.
That's TWS into the wall. That's a very big crash from TWS, and in the dirty edge just got caught off a little bit there. So by a mistake from TWS, that's definitely going to catch him off there. But Huge is into the pit lane, so he has managed to get past. But with TWS, the damage doesn't look like he's going to be looking very quick, especially now that he has to come into the pits probably very soon. But here comes Huge into the pits for a set of yellow marked medium tyres. He's also serving a 5-second time penalty, which is only going to add to the despair of his race. So, you know, Huge looking so good in third place. Looks like it was too good to be true. So yeah, answers being given to you. TWS has managed to get in front of Huge.
Well, but I think Euge could have staying out. I think he got it completely wrong of pitting. I don't really saw a reason by why would he pit. I think he should have stayed out. Oh, and James Rolfe now DNF the race, and another safety car is coming out, or not? Looks not. We have only yellow flag on sector 2. Yeah, as I was saying, Euge, I think he shouldn't have pitted. I think he had enough to keep everyone behind him. But, well, he finally decided to pit. But, well, my prediction was that Twist was not going to be able to overtake Euge on track. Well, he decided to pit. That's a completely different story. But, yeah, on track, I think Euge could have easily kept him behind all the rest of the race. And now Twist has Brad Tate, who's now going to try to put some pressure on him. Oh, and we have an accident there. It's Tig, I think so, with Maverick. Maverick's got a crash there. And Bonaldo again involved in an accident. Bonaldo once again with wing damage. He's already done 3 stops on this race. He's going to have to go for another one now. Full wing damage now for Bonaldo. And Maverick also has minor wing damage than Bonaldo definitely has. Bonaldo's pitting again, his 4th pit stop on this race. And he's now got, for, if it couldn't gone even worse, now he's got a 5-second penalty for speeding at the pit lane. Maverick now DNFs the race. Bonaldo serving the penalty, I think so. Going for a new set of medium tires. Back with the lead of the race. Rogers is pulled away almost 13 seconds now. So if a safety car doesn't come out, Rogers could calmly go for a cup of tea and enjoy it, because there's nothing that can be done against his lead at the race now. Brate losing pace with Twist there. Even with Twist has wing damage, Brate is not being able to catch with him. Elge is 17 seconds behind his teammate Ross Thorne. As I said, completely pointless pit stop he shouldn't have made. I think he could have managed those tires to the end perfectly and keep everyone behind him. So yeah, completely useless pit stop done by Huge in my opinion. Then Stick going for another pit stop. And I think Nash Bros also has wing damage there.
Looks like the field spread is pretty high at the minute. Looks like AA Gaming is 14 seconds adrift of Rogers, who is probably just in conservative mode. Just needs to kneel at home at this point and really just try and carry this momentum forward and take the race win. Of course, he's been probably the star of the field, really consistent and really impressive with his driving, and at the racing point definitely going to be deserved to take the win if he can hold on. He's still got 14 laps of the race left to go. Anything can happen, as we've seen tonight, and with as many retirements as we have got, we've lost quite a few drivers, but nonetheless it's still been a pretty good race. Not much action. Super Nash Bros has left the session, so this could allow Big Pappy Fury to find himself into P7, and I wouldn't be too surprised if he is up into P7. But nonetheless, it looks like this race is definitely becoming a race of attrition. If you make it to the end, you're probably going to finish in a pretty good position and just keeping your nose clean. Big Pappy Fury is still getting stuck behind the AI of Super Nash Bros and can't quite find his way through, so just trying to find his way through. Can he get it into the penultimate corner? And there is Super Nash Bros into the pit lane. Yeah, I let him Big Happy Fury through. But yeah, as I was saying, it's definitely becoming a big race of attrition. So if you make it to the end, you're probably going to be in a really good position. Of course, to finish first you must finish. And Roger is definitely doing a very good job of that. Up in front, just putting consistent lap times in and keeping it clean. We've got 14 laps of the race left to go. So it has been, pretty calmed down now. To start both up after people filter through their main pit stops. But yeah, what are your takes from the race, David?
Oh, you asked me a question?
Yeah, I was just saying, what are your takes on the race? What do you think of it so far?
Oh, what do I think? Yeah, very crazy race. Well, what to expect from Monaco, actually, not surprising me at all. It's normal to see the crazy race at Monaco, that's very usual. But what I wasn't really expecting was Iron Apple's crash. That completely surprised me. He was driving very solid at the front and somehow just in one moment we just saw he just spawned there, and that was very determinant for the win of this race, because he then led it to Rogers, his teammate. So yeah, that would be the surprise of the race. Then on track, very common, not seeing so much overtaking at this track. But yeah, very fun race to watch, very crazy, as usually Monaco is. Yeah, that would be what I think about this race at the moment. But personally, I would like to see something interesting at the end of the race. Maybe another safety car to see maybe Rogers in some trouble, so we have more chances of fighting for the win of the race, not being so predictable.
Oh yeah, but you can't discredit him at all. He's been completely and utterly amazing in this race and really put some consistent laps in, as Bonaldo has had a big old crash. He's lost his front wing end plate coming through. Was that Mirabeau? He had a big old off, and that's allowed Banana Hammock and the Stig to get their way through. Yeah, he's definitely just going to be peeling over and letting
oh, and it's raining! It's raining! It's starting to rain!
Ooh. Well, you asked for a shake-up in the grid, and this is definitely something that's going to shake up the grid. It's now starting to rain. You can see the dribbles on the visor, and Power has retired from the session in the pit lane, so it won't bring out a safety car, of course, but it has started raining, which could definitely throw something into the mix, and probably would explain why Rogers and AA Gaming have taken those tyres so long. It would explain why they're taking it so long, so they can stretch it out to the inters, but it's definitely raining, and it's raining very, very hard, as Bernardo has retired from the session through the swimming pool chicane, so his teammate will probably come and see what's going to happen there, but probably just a massive off through swimming pool, and yeah, probably just playing out understick towards the wall, and surprisingly, that's not a safety car. I wasn't really expecting it to be a safety car.
Sticks DNF now.
Where is that? That's straight on at Sandovot, and it looks as though he just hasn't stopped. Maybe the rain's caught him out or something, or not too entirely sure, but we've lost a further 2 drivers from the race, as the rain has definitely played a challenge for today's drivers.
And Tig's the first driver to go into intermediate tires. I think maybe it could be a bit early. Still not raining so hard, but Sile's done the same, going into intermediate tires. But maybe a bit laps earlier, but we'll see if drivers start actually going now on intermediate tires. Oh, and there goes Rogers crash! Rogers crash with a back marker there with Banana Hammock. Oh, completely changed up the race. Rogers has just taken Banana Hammock and he's just crashed with wing damage now, and this could completely change it all. But now Rogers is into the pit lane. Thankfully for him, the crash caught him at the entry of the pit lane. He's now changing into intermediate tires. And AA Gaming is staying out. He will take the lead of the race now. But finally we have...
It's going to be close. Yes, he will.
Yeah, he will, but by a very large amount of distance actually. Rogers had to change wing. He lost time with the back marker too, and he's going to be very, very angry because of this one. He's now got a 3-second time penalty. I really don't know what Rogers and Banana Hammock will have to say after the race between them. It remembers me what happened in Belgium at Spa 198, yeah, with Schumacher and David Coulthard, if you remember that race, when Schumacher was very comfortable leading the race and he just crashed into Coulthard, who was a back marker there. Similar situation here.
Definitely interested to see. Banana Hammock has crashed out of the session. Where has this happened? It's taken place through the Noval chicane, and looks as though he's just gone straight into the wall with Super Nashbros and Big AA Gaming going side by side. So he's fighting with a back marker, and AA Gaming is into the wall there, and he's lost his front wing end plate, which is incredible to see how as soon as you lead the race, and sideways for TWS, who's in the wall as well. So anyone leading the race, it's sort of like there's been a curse going on. So this is definitely going to be playing into the hands of Rogers, who's already onto the intermediate tyres. Is there enough standing water on the track though as he comes through the pit lane? AA Gaming and TWS, so Brad Tay somehow is going to be leading this race for a while as he laps Silly, but Brad Tay leading this race on some very old tyres, nearly touching the wall through Sandovot, but it looks as though Rogers is going to come out in front of TWS and AA Gaming, both onto the intermediate tyres. So it is looking like a really weird crossover point between the two tyres where a 3-second time penalty, but Rogers seems to have some pretty good pace on the intermediate tyres, and he's caught up to Brad Tay very quickly, so I'm not too convinced that the slick tyres are the way to go at the minute.
Well, now Rogers will have to try to overtake Brad Tay, since Brad Tay doesn't have a penalty while Rogers does have a penalty. But yeah, as you say, slick tires may not be so confident now, and I suppose it's going to start raining even more. But we also have the difficulty of overtaking at Monaco, so we'll see now if Brad Tay can take those... Oh yeah, he misses completely the corner there, but still keeps in front of Rogers. He has 9 more laps to go. We'll see if he is able to hold him all this way. It's going to be very difficult. It's going to be the hardest 9 laps of his life. And Euch has also decided to stay on the slick tires. Super Nash Bros, who was the other driver on slicks, has decided to go for intermediates now. Oh, and Bradley finally decided that he wasn't going to be able to keep on those tires anymore and has decided to finally go for the pit stop to change into intermediate tires. So this holds the lead back into Rogers. We still had some excitement moments with all the rain and with that crash between Rogers and Banana Hammock. Also, should have been a very tense moment for Rogers, that moment when he crashed with the back marker, but finally the race lead is back into his hands. AA Gaming is back into second place and is going to be very close with Bratty there. Euge also goes for the pit stop. Oh, and Big Papa's DNF the race. Yeah, we've had a lot of accidents recently and none of them significated a safety car coming out. So for some reason safety car hasn't come out anymore on these last laps we've had. And very crazy, we've had we already have 11 drivers DNFing. That's more than half of the grid and still 8 more laps to go, so we may even see more DNFs at this race. Remember me to one of the Monaco races of the 90s. Don't remember which one exactly was, where only 3 drivers completed the race at Monaco. Oh, and now Super Nash Bros DNF 2. So that leaves us with 8 cars racing now.
Definitely a race of attrition, it seems. That if you just make it to the end, you're definitely going to be in a good position. Now that more than half the grid has DNF'd, if you just make it to the end, you're going to be within the top 10 and scoring some pretty decent points, which most of the drivers are going to be doing. So they're all in sort of this survival mode, just getting to the end and just trying to be careful. AA Gaming has a 24-second gap to Rogers, and he's got a 1 second gap back to Brad Tay, who is showing too remarkable pace. Maybe close onto the back of Red Bull eventually, but it looks as though everyone just is in survival mode. They need to get to the end of the race, and hopefully we won't see too many retirements, but it looks as though Rogers is on doesn't make any more crucial mistakes like he did with the back marker a few laps previously.
I also have to say Brad Tay is mostly one of the only drivers with TIG who don't have a time penalty, so Brad Tay only has to stick into AA Gaming in less than 3 seconds and he'll get P2 today. So not a very difficult task for him to complete. Oh, we have some crazy commentaries on the stream. Someone has just, it's Rip the Beans who has written, someone take AA out, so that's very crazy commentary, I have to say.
Probably not too happy with his driving to start the race, then I'm going to guess. But yeah, he's definitely been clean from what I've seen, so hopefully all is good on AA Gaming's part. But yeah, doesn't look like he's pleased too many drivers at the start of this race then.
So, well, currently we don't have any fight at track, so we'll only have to watch the survival, as you say. Yeah, no one is currently fighting anyone at track. So... well, we have to check Bratty, who's now almost into 3 seconds behind AA Gaming, so if AA Gaming keeps pulling out on this pace, but now Bratty closes in. Oh, and I still keep getting commentaries of asking for people to take AA Gaming out of this race, so... very surrealistic commentaries there, having some fun there, I think so.
But luckily for the drivers, it is nearing towards the end of the race, so luckily for them they haven't got too long left to go. And in Valtteri Bottas's words after the I believe it was the Turkish Grand Prix, yeah, one at its end, and there's only what now 5 laps off the race remaining, which I'm sure will be a saving grace in a lot of drivers' eyes. Just need to finish this race, and I'm sure it's been a pretty tough one for everyone on the mental side and the physical side. Just getting to the end. 39 laps in Monaco is never easy, especially with the amount of carnage and safety cars we had. So just getting to the end of the race, I'm sure it's a very big achievement. Rogers has lost a lot of time to AA Gaming.
Oh, sorry for interrupting, but Rogers has wing damage. He has both wing damage right now, so this turns very interesting to the end of the race. The gap is now reduced into 18.7 seconds, so we'll have to see if on the coming 5 laps what may happen to Rogers. Can he even lose this race now because of this? He has a very significant amount of wing damage there. Both end plates are broken for him. The gap is reducing very quickly, and this may also bring a mistake from him and even get even more wing damage. And AE Gaming is closing very quickly into him, so
Rogers grinding against the wall through Massenet. It looks as though that wing damage is definitely hurting him, especially he's using a lot of aerodynamic grip, which is definitely going to be costing him, especially at Monaco. But AA Gaming closing down fast. I'm sure he's going to realise the situation he's in at the moment. He's got 5 laps to close the gap, and it's closing very quickly. So hopefully we can see AA Gaming start down Rogers for the race win, and it looks as though Rogers is just even in more survival mode. It looks like Rip the Beans definitely does not like AA Gaming very much. But it's the mobile chicane. He's just needs to be very careful. Up again. And that's going to be doing his front tire good. He seems very passionate about this this movement of taking AA.
Oh, AA Gaming's crash now! He's crashed against the wall there! And now AA Gaming has wing damage too, so Read the Beans Desires has now become truth. Not in complete amount, but AA Gaming has now some wing damage, so if he had any chances of chasing Rogers, those chances may be gone now. So Read the Beans' wishes have now become true, maybe, in some way. Well, he's not completely out, but his chances of winning may be over now if he had some.
Just taking a look at the damage, he's only lost one end plate of his wing. So obviously the end plate being the front right bit, the bit that sticks up against the actual aerodynamic bit. And he's only lost that bit compared to Roger losing both. So he's got less damage than the guy he's chasing down, and the gap is still coming down, but has that damage cost him the advantage he needed? And Rip the Beans definitely, as you said, dreams coming true. He didn't need someone to take him out. It looks as though he's taken himself out of the contention of the race lead.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's definitely, as you say, has much less wing damage than Rogers has. But with a 15-second gap, if you want to chase someone in 3 laps, you have to be at full 100%. You're carrying 100% chances of doing it, and AA Gaming is not in that conditions. He has to be at 100%, and he's not because of that minimal wing damage. So yeah, he can definitely go faster than Rogers, but not enough faster to catch him on the coming lap. So yeah, that still compromises his charge in trying to get that win of the race.
Certainly so. He's being consistent all race. He's been up there, breathtaking sideways. But yeah, he's definitely been up there for the majority of the race. In second place, if he can just bring it home, certainly nothing to squander at. If he can bring home P2, of course he wants to win, but it looks like that's not a realistic option as it stands. To be fair, 8 people finishing, so I mean, you do definitely want to be up there, especially as most of the grid has retired. But Roger's been the class of the field. He's definitely been most consistent, but there's just these little mistakes that definitely could have cost him. But luckily for him, he's managed to get a gap big enough that he can hold on to it. And he's only got a couple of laps left, 2.5 laps left as we come through 37 and what will be the penultimate lap, next lap of 38.
So now the gap between Rogers and AA Gaming keeps being 15.4. It's rounding like that for a good amount of time. So yeah, it's very unrealistic that A Gaming now is now in normal conditions impossible for anyone to take away the win from Rogers. The only way is that Rogers would crash on his own. But he only has to take it clean 2 more laps, so it's not a very difficult task for him to do so. So yeah, it's turned into a survival race, no fight at track. Now the gap has been reduced 1 second to 14th seconds. Now it's again up into 15 seconds. Oh, and we keep getting more commentaries of Rip the Beans. Looks he really hates AA Gaming for some reason. But AA Gaming is most probably taking second of the race today, so unfortunately for Rip the Beans, AA Gaming is getting a podium today, so maybe try to get some jokes at the end of the race, since there's not much to watch really, apart from the survival.
The gap's slowly coming down nonetheless, but looks like he's just going to run out of time. Yellow flags for set 2. Is that Rogers being spun round though? Just looks as though it might have been one of the back markers nicely moving out of the way. And I think it was TWS moving out of the way. Teak pulling out of the track. He might be waiting up for Silly, who was right behind him as well. So we might be able to see a bit of a battle between these two, who knows. But yeah, onto the penultimate lap, and Rogers rounding at the swimming pool chicane. It definitely looks like a swimming pool out there. And those cars definitely looking more like boats than optimal prime Formula 1 machinery. Looks like they're just really taking it round slowly. But he's rounding the final lap, I'm sure, to his pleasure and his delight. He just needs to hang on for another 19 corners or so and just bring it home. Running very slowly on track, as is everyone into Sandevot. Then for the final time, second gear to get the rotation. Really, really battling the car. Job and take him out. We can't do anything, Rip the Beans, man. We're in the commentary box unless you want us to get a sniper rifle or something. There's not really much we can do in comparison to people. But hopefully for your sake he takes himself out. I'd say he's done a pretty good job to deserve P2, but I mean everyone's their own, and your opinion is your own. But yeah, nonetheless, maybe you can do the job next race and come and drive into him into T1. Who knows?
Actually, Brate now has shortened the gap with AA Gaming, so he's getting P2 at the moment by only 4 attempts. Oh, and Rostorm's got in front of Euge now. Don't know how that's happened, but Rostorm's got in front of his teammate there. And Brate is now closing the gap between him and AA Gaming. He doesn't need any more to get P2. And the gap between AA Gaming and Rogers has shortened into 10 seconds now. But it's only one more sector Rogers has to do to get this win of the race. So we're going to go on board with Rogers now to follow him through the last corners. Very difficult race. He showed very consistent, very strong. Got in front of his teammate because of his accident. So he's now the last corner for him. And it's the checker flag that comes out for Rogers, who wins the Monaco Grand Prix, one of the most difficult races of the season for sure. AA Gaming will cross the line on second, but Brate looks so he'll take second place. And yes, he does. Brate by only 2 tenths takes second place. AA Gaming completes the podium. To the bad note, the bad news for Rip the Beans to know that. Then Rostorn will take 4th of the race. Euge takes 5th. Twist already crossed the line as a back marker on 6th place. Then we're only waiting for Tick and Sile, these 8 survivors on this crazy Monaco Grand Prix. Finally, with the rain which came out, but still very crazy race at the start, even with no rain. It turned out into a completely survival race, more than a battling a track race. Tick's now on the last corner. There he goes, crossing the line on 7th place. Finally, Sile is going to take the 8th place and last on track at the moment. And there he goes. Race completed.
And what a crazy race it was nonetheless. It was carnage up and down the field, really a race of attrition. Just getting to the end was a challenge in itself, let alone having any good pace. And it looks like for, well, at least 12 drivers, it looks like the Monaco circuit overcame them and definitely showed why it is so infamous and very tricky to get it done. But I'd definitely say one of the most difficult races I've commentated on. and it's been a pleasure to commentate alongside you. But Roger's taking the win ahead of Brad Tay, who started 19th on the grid to come across in second. Just goes to show how keeping your nose clean can definitely work in the long run. AA Gaming rounding off the podium to the disc of Beans, Rosthorn in P4, Eugen TWS in P6, starting P6 and finishing P6, not too bad of a result. Teak in P7, City P8, Super Nash Bros DNFing, Big Papa Fury DNFing, Banana Hammock DNFing, That's Sig DNFing, Bonado DNFing, Power DNFing, Maverick DNFing, James Raft DNFing, Iron Apple DNFing, Arrestgavo DNFing, Monkey Mafia and Tom Marsh all DNFing from this race. So 12 drivers out of this race. And, well, that was pretty incredible to see only 8 drivers finish. But nonetheless, the 8 drivers that finished, very well done to them. It was definitely a very tricky race, but nonetheless, a very good one with some good battles and a lot of changes for the race leaders as there was quite a few bottle lids open, especially as the rain started to come down.
Yeah, as you say, for me too, it was a pleasure to commentate beside you. Very nice. Really enjoyed it a lot. And yeah, as we have said, very crazy race, survival race actually. Great job by these 8 guys surviving. Brad Tay, my driver of the day definitely, from 19th to 2nd place. I think that's pretty easy choice. I think now the stewards are going to have a lot of work now after the race. They're just probably going to have to review a lot of incidents. Oh, and finally, well, this story has come to an end. Congratulations to Roger for his win, also for Brad Tay and for A Gaming on their podium.
Nonetheless, though, I would say that concludes a thrilling night's racing. So if you have enjoyed watching, do make sure to like the stream put on by David, and very well done to him for commentating his first co-commentary race. So hopefully more to come in that, and you can become a bit more experienced with that. But you've done a very good job, mate, and it's been a pleasure commentating alongside you. Nonetheless, I hope you enjoyed that race as much as a lot of people at home watching did as well. Do make sure to like the stream then, everyone. And we'll catch you next week for Division 1 at Azerbaijan, I think. Azerbaijan, I believe it will be.
Thank you too for your company commentating with me. It was very nice to do. You did a very great job too on the commentating. It was very nice. My first experience with commentating with someone else. So very great thanks to you. You did a great job. Really enjoyed it. Very nice time. So yeah, I think this is all. I don't think we have to do anything more. Not sure. I'll ask, but if not, yeah, thanks to all for watching. Hope you enjoyed the race. Apart from all the carnage that happened, was very fun to watch. So thanks for our viewers. Thanks for the drivers who participated. Hope you enjoyed watching and racing too. And I would also say thank you for Rip the Beans. Thank to you for making those final laps more entertaining and give us some laughter at the end of the race. Yeah, it also helps to... it also brings more fun having some jokes in the race. So yeah, thank you too for interacting with us. Okay, so again, thanks for watching. We'll be back next week for the Azerbaijan Grand Prix at Baku. Going to be another crazy race for sure. Not so much as this one. Walls are not so narrow as in Monaco, but still very crazy track. At the castle section will be an interesting one to watch too. But yeah, Azerbaijan is completely different from this track in the terms of overtaking, because this track, Monaco, very difficult one to overtake, and Azerbaijan is the complete opposite. With that very long straight, it's very easy to overtake. So I expect a very nice race coming on the next week. So we'll be back with you next week for the Azerbaijan Grand Prix. So again, thanks for watching and goodbye. See you next week.
Bye.